Growing up amidst a household where only my twin sister received the lion's share of attention became a fact of life for me. How marvelous it must feel, I often mused, to belong to such a tight-knit family. Those who preach about cherishing family likely hail from backgrounds where such love was abundant and unquestioned. Their familial bonds were probably ingrained in them, taken for granted. My reality, however, stood in stark contrast. Within my own family, closeness was a foreign concept, and I struggled to recall ever feeling truly valued. To put it plainly, I was the odd one out. I'm Martha, a woman in her 30s, navigating life solo. As I mentioned earlier, my family dynamic lacks closeness. To put it precisely, everyone else in my family seems to mesh well except for me. On the surface, we present the image of a happy, cohesive unit, but from my earliest memories, I felt disconnected from them. I share this family with my twin sister, Lisa. From the outset, our parents showered Lisa with attention. She possessed a captivating beauty, a vibrant personality, and sharp wit that endeared her to them. They cherished her completely. Conversely, despite being her twin, I seemed to slip through the cracks. My lack of resemblance to Lisa left me overlooked. I was unremarkable, lost in my own daydreams. When Lisa expressed an interest in ballet, our parents spared no expense in enrolling her in classes and outfitting her with the finest gear. Every recital brought forth a flurry of excitement as they meticulously procured lavish costumes, ensuring that Lisa radiated charm on stage. Conversely, whether my desire leaned towards swimming lessons or piano classes, the response echoed consistently. There's no need for you to enroll. Investing in such activities for a clumsy child like you would be futile. That refrain echoed throughout my childhood. I can still picture the scene vividly, standing at the front door, watching them depart with joyous smiles to celebrate Lisa's triumph in a ballet competition. Despite the substantial investment in her ballet education, Lisa abruptly called it quits with a simple declaration, "I've had my fill." As high school approached, our parents remained strangely silent. The contrast in their treatment became painfully evident when discussions turned to our collegiate aspirations. When Lisa expressed her desire to pursue an independent city life at a prestigious women's college, they beamed with approval, assuring her that scholarships or part-time work were unnecessary burdens as they would shoulder all financial responsibilities. Conversely, the idea of me attending college seemed preposterous to them. I was reminded of my supposed underachievement and urged to be grateful for the upbringing I had received. Instead of encouraging academic pursuits, they advocated for immediate entry into the workforce post-graduation. After protracted negotiations, I was begrudgingly permitted to attend a nearby public university, but under stringent conditions. Financial independence, household contributions, and chores shouldered in exchange for their reluctant support. Since then, I've been caught in a whirlwind, trying to balance academics, a part-time job, and household chores. With a scholarship hanging by a thread, failure in any subject was out of the question. Working tirelessly to cover my living expenses left no room for respite. Any lapse in housework quality was met with threats of expulsion from university. Every day was a mad rush, leaving me drained to the bone. In stark contrast, my sister, appearing sporadically, epitomized the quintessential college student, adorned in trendy attire and fashionable hairstyles. She seemed to effortlessly blend academics with leisure, all while taunting my disheveled appearance and hectic schedule. "You always look so disheveled," she'd sneer. "I wouldn't dream of being seen with you. How can you even step outside like that? I'd die of embarrassment if I were you. And let's not even talk about your university. It must be scraping the bottom of the barrel. What's the point of even attending such a place? It's all just a waste of time." Adding insult to injury, my mother echoed my sister's sentiments, siding against me. "She's right, Martha. You're not exactly the sharpest tool in the shed. College isn't meant for everyone, especially not someone who can't even dress properly. You've become the laughing stock of the neighborhood." On the other hand, everyone admires Lisa, praising her beauty. It fills me with pride. Since childhood, I'd grown accustomed to the unfounded animosity from my family. Their petty jabs hardly registered as I rushed off to my part-time job, my focus squarely on survival. And so, the tumultuous 4 years of college flew by, and both my sister and I crossed the graduation finish line. While my family feted my sister's achievement with a lavish overseas trip and a designer handbag, I remained a footnote in their celebrations. With plans to strike out on my own after securing a job, my parents promptly intervened. We've supported you this far. It's only fair you repay us by tending to the household chores and handing over your paycheck. Living independently is a waste of money. Their decree left me with no choice but to linger in the confines of my childhood home, stifled by their expectations. Fortunately, the company that extended me an offer was within a tolerable commuting distance, albeit a considerable trek. Meanwhile, my sister landed a position at a well-known firm in the city. She boasted about her workplace nestled in the East Village, but such details held little interest for me. Years later, my sister tied the knot with a colleague from her company and promptly exited the workforce. While festivities ensued, unsurprisingly, an invitation never graced my mailbox. My sister's husband, Toby, echoed the sentiments of my family, casting a disdainful eye my way. "Martha, you couldn't be more different from Lisa. You're so ordinary. Are you sure you're twins? You seem more like distant relatives than siblings. Attending some obscure college, working for a company no one's ever heard of. It's laughable." My sister merely smiled, allowing Toby's cutting remarks to linger unchallenged. Thank goodness the grandchildren didn't take after Martha. "They're all adorable, just like Lisa," my mother exclaimed, cradling one of the little ones as laughter rippled through the room. Years slipped by, and suddenly, my mother was gone. Was it the toll of her sedentary lifestyle, leaving all household duties to me? While my father and sister grieved deeply, I found myself strangely untouched. Their accusations stung. "How heartless! You're a monster for not shedding a single tear." A thrown object struck my face, finally unleashing the floodgates of tears. In the aftermath of my mother's passing, my father's legs weakened, rendering him reliant on assistance for daily tasks. My days became a relentless cycle of work, chores, and caring for my father. Though my sister made sporadic visits, her presence only coincided with requests for financial support for her children. My father never expressed gratitude. Instead, he nitpicked every action. "The bath water is too hot, the food too bland," he'd grumble, punctuating each complaint with blame for my mother's demise as objects hurled my way. Despite his weakened legs, my father's health remained robust. Yet the money I contributed to our household was often squandered on his drinking escapades. During the day, when he deemed my efforts insufficient, he demanded more. It baffled me how he could complain of leg pain at home, yet miraculously recover whenever it was time for his drinking escapades. Reflecting on it now, I realize I should have severed ties with such a toxic family and fled long ago. But in those days, I had grown accustomed to unfair treatment and harsh words since childhood. It felt like the norm, dulling my senses to the injustice. The thought of escape never crossed my mind, especially as I lived alone with Dad. Then, out of the blue, my sister called. Before I could utter a greeting, she launched into a tirade. How long do you plan on mooching off our parents and squatting at home? I'm moving in with Dad, so could you kindly pack up and leave immediately?" I struggled to grasp her words, so I sought clarification. "Wait, hold on, you're moving in with Dad? Did he agree to this?" "Of course he did. Dad wants to be with us and see his grandkids every day. It's disgusting how you're living off Mom's inheritance and lounging around in the house. I won't allow you to enjoy a luxurious lifestyle on our money. We're moving in early next week, so you better start packing." With that, she abruptly ended the call, leaving me puzzled by the mention of Mom's inheritance. I needed to verify this with Dad. "Dad, is it true you're planning to live with my sister?" My question prompted a call from Dad himself. His response confirmed my worst fears. "Yes, Lisa and her family will take care of me. I can't keep living with someone like you who can't even manage basic household chores properly." Lisa assures me that I don't need to worry about a thing and wants me to enjoy my time with my grandkids. "Isn't she a wonderful daughter compared to you? You've always been a disappointment, never bothering to get married. All you do is squander the household's money, and to top it off, you're not even attractive. I'm ashamed to call you my child. Leave, you're nothing but a nuisance. Consider our parent-child relationship severed." His words puzzled me. What did he mean by wasting the house's money? Amidst my swirling thoughts, clarity dawned. With both Dad and my sister urging me to depart, there was no reason to linger any longer. I resolved to leave with my head held high. Dialing my sister's number, I delivered the news. "As you mentioned, Dad intends to join you. He expressed his desire to sever ties with me. I'll be out by the end of the week." "That's very considerate of you. Just ensure that there's no drama. After all, you're no longer part of the family, right?" I apologize for any inconvenience I may have caused. Oh, and when I move out, I can take my belongings, right? Clothes and such. We have no use for your possessions. I doubt they're of any value anyway. Take everything, but keep your hands off the household finances or belongings. If you do otherwise, I won't hesitate to involve the authorities. Understood. I'll only take what's mine. With that, I ended the call. Well, time to get all my stuff moved out, I declared, rolling up my sleeves with determination. A few days later, as I unpacked in my new place, my phone erupted with my sister's enraged voice the moment I answered. What's going on? Where's everything gone? What did you do? I held the phone away from my ear, her fury piercing through the line. There's nothing left in the house. No furniture, no appliances. Where did you put everything? Her accusatory tone was expected, but the reality surpassed my expectations. And the appliances? I bought them with my own money, I replied calmly. What? You bought them? That's a lie. You work for some mediocre company. There's no way you could afford all that. You even replaced the furniture after Mom passed. You must have used her inheritance, right? Give them back. I'm calling the police. I sighed inwardly, realizing my sister's confusion. Slowly, I began to explain, hoping to clarify things amidst her agitation. Sis, if you're talking about Mom's inheritance, there isn't any. She was a homemaker, not someone with substantial wealth. How could she leave behind the kind of money you're expecting? But that doesn't make sense, my sister retorted, leaving me equally puzzled. The Roomba, the drum washing machine, and such, I bought them to ease the workload after Mom passed. With caring for Dad and my job, these appliances saved me time. I purchased them all with my own earnings. I opted to replace everything because most of the old items were on their last legs. And yes, I've been footing all the living expenses, I clarified. Lies, everything in the house is new since Mom passed. The dining set, the bed, the sofa, everything. And of course, I footed the bill for all of it. I chose to upgrade them with my bonus when I noticed wear and tear. I could sense disbelief emanating from the other end of the phone line. What about the car? It's been in our possession for ages, registered under my name from the start, I countered. That's a lie. We left our jobs, moved here expecting to live off Mom's inheritance. It's such a hassle to go shopping now. What are you going to do about this? My sister's tirade was beginning to give me a headache. It became apparent that she wrongly assumed the upgraded electronics and furniture were purchased with Mom's inheritance. She seemed to be laboring under the misconception that I was living a lavish lifestyle funded by Mom's money, and she believed she was entitled to a share of the inheritance. Her scheme appeared to involve ousting me from the house to live extravagantly off the inheritance. While I had always known my sister, though attractive, was calculating, I hadn't realized she could be so thoughtless. It's not like I can just waltz back in. You're the one who insisted I leave and take all my belongings. I was just following your orders, I retorted, growing weary of my sister's incessant ranting over the phone. As much as I wanted to end the call, there was one last crucial piece of information I needed to impart. By the way, I've been settling Dad's debts up until now. From here on out, you'll need to take care of them. What? Her voice betrayed her shock. It was evident she had no inkling about the debt. Our parents had meticulously concealed it from her. While we weren't a family of great wealth, they had maintained appearances, splurging on my sister. Dad's income simply couldn't cover everything, so he resorted to borrowing. The funds went toward everything from my sister's childhood ballet lessons to her university tuition. Decades of lavish spending, living far beyond our means, have led to this staggering debt. All of Dad's financial obligations stem from the resources poured into my sister. So she's stepping up to settle them. No problem, right? After all, didn't she tell Dad? Just relax, surrounded by your grandkids. I took that as a cue not to worry about the debts either. It was quite touching, really, her sense of duty, I remarked, feigning innocence. My sister's fury only surged at my words. Stop ridiculing me, and let's be real, there's no way someone from some obscure company like yours could afford all those top-of-the-line gadgets and brand-new furniture. You're definitely dipping into Mom's inheritance, aren't you? Do you even know what I do for a living? I countered, maintaining the composed tone. I wouldn't expect you to understand. You're probably just working some menial job at a no-name company, right? My sister retorted. I'm employed at a multinational financial institution, I clarified. What? Multinational. What's that? My sister sounded utterly bewildered. Both my parents and sister, none of whom were proficient in foreign languages, demeaned me upon learning of my position at a multinational financial institution, a concept unfamiliar to them despite its widespread recognition among most Americans. It was ironic how they branded me as incapable while displaying the glaring lack of basic knowledge themselves. I pursued a college education with the singular goal of mastering French, my beloved language. By the time I graduated, I had achieved fluency sufficient for professional use. My employer values competence, and I diligently earn a respectable salary. My sister and parents remained oblivious, disinterested in understanding. It had always been this way. They perceived me as unremarkable, basing their judgments on misconceptions, never acknowledging my academic achievements despite my consistent performance since elementary school. But their understanding is of no consequence to me. My sister's screams continued to pierce through the phone line. If you offer a genuine apology, I may consider forgiveness. Where have you relocated? Provide me with your address. Why am I the one expected to apologize? Why should I seek forgiveness from her? I've never comprehended my sister's rationale, nor have I desired to. Your forgiveness is unnecessary. I have severed ties with your family, so refrain from contacting me again. Deal with your own problems. Farewell. With that, I terminated the call. Despite her furious voice echoing through the phone until the very last moment, my heart remained unmoved, much like when Mom passed away. There was no one present to accuse me of being heartless, so tears eluded me this time. Despite the turmoil, a sense of tranquility settled within me. Months later, news reached me through a friend from my hometown. My sister and her husband had quit their jobs, banking on Mom's inheritance. Yet when their hopes shattered, they found themselves penniless, stripped of jobs and possessions. They fell into arrears, wrestling with Dad's debts, ultimately selling our family home to stay afloat. They relocated to a nearby apartment, struggling to reconcile their financial woes. Even with the proceeds from the house sale, they couldn't clear their debts, and the constant strain took a toll on their mental well-being, fracturing family bonds. Within the confines of their cramped apartment, tension simmered between my sister and her husband, Toby. He harbored resentment, feeling duped into draining his savings and resigning from his job. Their marriage teetered on the brink. Yet amidst the chaos, their children found solace in newfound friendships within the apartment complex, providing a glimmer of hope amidst the chaos. As for me, I relocated closer to my workplace, relishing the freedom to indulge in my earnings and focus solely on my own needs. I reclined on my plush sofa, admiring the intricate nail art adorning my fingertips. After years of constraint, I resolved to savor this newfound independence for as long as I please.